With all eyes on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's upcoming nuptials, it's pretty easy to forget about all the things that will take place after the big day. Marrying into British royalty is a bit different than becoming a Disney princess. By that, we mean there are rules. Here are some things that Markle will be barred from doing after she says "I do" at St. George's Chapel in the spring of 2018. No more autographs. As an actress, Meghan Markle has likely signed her fair share of autographs. As a soon-to-be royal, however, those days are now behind her. The reason for this is understandable. Royals are prohibited from signing autographs due to the risk of signature forgery, as explained by Express. But what fun are rules if you can't break them, or at least bend them from time to time? When asked to sign autographs, Prince Charles usually defaults to an apology and tells the public he is unable to do so, according to The Telegraph. Be that as it may, when visiting Cornwall after major flooding, a man whose home had been badly damaged asked for his John Hancock. Charles, feeling moved, obliged by writing Charles 2010. Markle did something similar in January of 2018 for a 10-year-old fan. According to Time, instead of signing her name on the paper provided, Markle simply wrote, "Hi, Caitlin." Voting is out. Meghan Markle is far from apolitical. She's been vocal about a number of issues over the years and has a history of activism. Robert Lacey, a historian and biographer of Queen Elizabeth, told The Guardian this might be an issue. "I can see that this is going to be a real problem in the months and years ahead for her, an existential problem. I don't imagine the Queen will be in a rush to have Meghan at the royal family's vacation house in Scotland when Trump visits." This poses a bit of a conundrum for Markle as a soon-to-be member of the royal family because they are expected to stay mum regarding politics, including their thoughts on specific politicians. Per the official website of the British royal family, the Queen must remain strictly neutral with respect to political matters. This includes voting in elections. Although the Queen is the only one explicitly prohibited from politics, members of the royal family abide by the same policy. No bare legs for Meg. When pictures surfaced of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announcing their engagement, your eyes may have been fixated on the ring immediately. But Markle's legs were what actually stole the show that day, specifically her bare legs. Royal expert Victoria Arbiter explained the situation to Business Insider, saying, "You never see a royal without their nude stockings. I would say that's really the only hard, steadfast rule in terms of what the Queen requires." It could be that Markle didn't know the pantyhose policy at the time, as she now appears to abide by the Queen's preference, at least at royal events. New bedtime. In an interview for the book The Royals in Australia, the Queen's private secretary told of Princess Diana's agony while sitting through long royal dinners. He explained, "There'd be an hour or so in the sitting room of everyone sitting around making conversation, and nobody felt it right to go to bed before the Queen did. Eventually, Diana got so sick of the pomp and circumstance that she'd excuse herself and go to bed anyway, despite it being considered bad form. If Markle is looking to stay in Queen Elizabeth's good graces, she probably shouldn't follow in Diana's footsteps." No more acting. When someone marries into a royal family, their careers don't often come with them. Grace Kelly, who was an actor prior to marrying Prince Rainier III of Monaco, left her Hollywood career behind. Markle has decided to follow suit by quitting USA's Suits after 7 years.
But I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
It's a new challenge. It's a new
chapter.
You know, whatever we have to tackle together or individually will always be us together as a team.
Her final role may be just a one-off, as a royal bride at the much-anticipated and widely televised royal wedding. Traveling solo is a no-go. Meghan Markle's days of being able to travel solo are already becoming a thing of the past. According to Express, the royal-to-be was issued royal protection officers in the wake of her engagement to Harry. According to royal expert Gordon Rayner, royal tours around the globe may look effortless to an outsider, but they can actually take 6 months to plan. He added that their site visits are hardly ever longer than 40 minutes at a time, and they likely will not travel to that same location again. Thankfully, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will at least get a real honeymoon. Well, as real as you can get when you need to be guarded 24/7.
Meghan Markle caused quite a stir within the ranks of the British royal family the moment she started dating Prince Harry. From being a divorced, biracial American actress to not wearing the right clothes or behaving in the supposedly correct manner, Markle just seemed to rub the royals the wrong way. However, the opinions of his extended family didn't seem to faze Prince Harry, who married Markle and had a child with her before moving to Los Angeles to start a new life in what was soon cleverly dubbed Megxit. The couple's decision to step down from their official royal duties rocked the family, as well as the press on both sides of the Atlantic. Rumours continue to circulate about what really transpired to make Harry and Meghan leave England for America. However, it now seems that if certain people had had their way, the entire ordeal could have been avoided because Prince Harry wouldn't have married Markle in the first place.
What that does internally is probably really damaging.
The tell-all book Royals at War, the untold story of Harry and Meghan's shocking split with the House of Windsor, claims that almost immediately after Harry started dating the Suits actress in 2016, Prince William allegedly asked his brother, "Is she the right one?" Prince Harry apparently didn't take kindly to his brother questioning his budding romance, and according to sources close to the family, it was the beginning of the end for their formerly close relationship. As royal expert Katie Nicholl explained in the documentary Princesses at War, William was quite concerned that the relationship had moved so quickly. William's wife, Kate Middleton, also allegedly warned Harry to take things slowly, and according to the authors of Royals at War, she reminded him, "He was dating someone with a completely different life, past and career, and it would take time, care and attention for them to integrate." But the happy couple got engaged the very next year, with both Middleton and Prince William wishing them well in the press and expressing a desire to get to know Markle better. When it came to Harry's almost instant connection to Markle, insiders revealed in Royals at War, Harry was drawn to Meghan's confidence, commitment, drive and ambition. Prince Harry may have been sure about Markle from the beginning, but Prince Philip warned him that marrying her would be a mistake for a shockingly snobby reason. According to a report in the Sunday Times, Philip allegedly told his grandson, "One steps out with actresses, one doesn't marry them." Markle was a well-regarded actress, having appeared in Suits for 7 seasons, while also featuring in a number of movies prior to marrying Prince Harry. Prince Philip is widely known to have a very close relationship with his grandson, so the comment no doubt wounded Prince Harry, though sources suggest that the Duke of Sussex stood up for Markle whenever anyone questioned their relationship. The Times report also alleged that an unnamed member of the royal family suggested that Markle's marriage to Harry would only last for 3 years, which seems pretty brutal.
Then we were really by ourselves.
Nigel Cawthorne, author of Prince Andrew, Epstein and the Palace, revealed that, in his view, Prince Charles wasn't Markle's biggest fan either, precisely because of her allegedly strong, no-nonsense personality that seemed to rankle other family members. When it came to Charles's alleged opinion on Markle, Cawthorne explained to The Sun, "There's only room for one strong royal woman, the Queen. I think Prince Charles likes strong women, but in the firm, there's only room for one queen. I think he foresaw considerable problems ahead." Prince Charles was allegedly concerned about the amount of press attention being drawn by Prince Harry and his new wife. According to Cawthorne, Harry and Meghan amplified the popularity of the royal family in the way that Prince Andrew and Fergie did at the time. In reality, though, Prince Charles had to offer his support to the new couple just like everyone else, as there wasn't much he could do to stop them from tying the knot. Still, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex left their senior positions within the family less than 2 years after marrying, officially ending royal duties on March 31st, 2020. Needless to say, their decision to leave sent shockwaves through the British monarchy and the world.
There have been plenty of ridiculous rumors surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's son, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, and many of them started well before the little one was even born. Some skeptics on Twitter even believed Meghan wasn't actually pregnant at all, that her baby bump was just a prosthetic.
Oh, really? Please.
Others believed Meghan was not carrying the child herself, but expecting a baby via a surrogate. Then there were those who, according to Cosmopolitan, believed that Meghan was pregnant, but not with just one baby, with twins. On May 6, 2019, the royal family announced that Meghan and Harry had finally welcomed their first child, a son.
It's been the most amazing experience I could ever possibly imagine.
With the birth announcement's confirmation of just one child, the news effectively put an end to some of the more baseless claims out there, but that's not to say all of the rumors went away. Within a few days of Archie's birth, a strange new rumor began spreading, and unlike many of the others, this one seemed capable of growing legs. Could it be that, as many have come to suspect, Harry and Meghan are lying about Archie's age? 3 days after the royal family revealed that Archie was born, the new parents introduced their son to the public, posed for photographs, and briefly answered questions from the press. This is when some started to question Archie's age. When a reporter asked which parent Archie most resembled, Harry replied,
The baby's changed so much over 2 weeks. We're basically sort of monitoring how the changing process happens over this next month, really. But
Apparently, some people think he said, "Everyone says that the baby has changed so much over 2 weeks." Did the prince actually slip up and reveal that his son was born some 2 weeks prior? Even if you don't think Harry messed up while speaking to the media, people think that they've discovered a few other signs that point to Archie being older than everyone thought. 2 weeks prior to the interview would have been the last week of April 2019, which is when many expected Meghan to give birth. According to Entertainment Tonight, Meghan even told one anonymous woman in a crowd at a meet and greet that she was due in late April to early May. If Meghan did give birth in late April, it's reasonable to believe that we might not have known. After all, Buckingham Palace had previously revealed Meghan and Harry will be keeping the plans around the arrival of their baby private, and will share the news once they have had an opportunity to celebrate privately as a new family. However, this plan seemingly went out the window when the royal family announced that Meghan had gone into labor on May 6th. Of course, due dates aren't exactly a hard science, and Harry and Meghan could have very well changed their minds about wanting to share details. But the conspiracy grows deeper. On April 26, 2019, an ambulance, medics, and a helicopter were spotted in the general area of Harry and Meghan's home. And prior to the official birth announcement, but after the ambulance hullabaloo, Queen Elizabeth paid a visit to Harry and Meghan's home. Was she just visiting her grandson and granddaughter-in-law's new digs? According to baby conspiracy theorists, she was there to meet the seventh heir to the throne. According to Express, royal custom stipulates that the monarch is the first person to be notified of a royal birth, so it would make sense that Queen Elizabeth could be among the child's first visitors. Of course, Archie's official birth certificate puts a kibosh on the whole conspiracy theory. According to the official record, the young royal was born at Portland Hospital in London, England, not in late April, but on May 6, 2019, just as the royal family claimed.
boom.
She may be the Princess Royal, but is she also the Queen of Shade? Harry may be breaking tradition, but Anne's breaking bad with these two former royals. There's no doubt that Princess Anne is a Spitfire. In 1974, when she was only 23, she was returning to Buckingham Palace when another car forced her vehicle to stop, and the man inside, Ian Ball, tried to kidnap her. When Ball tried to get Anne out of the car to score a ransom from her family, her response was, "Not bloody likely."
I was scrupulously polite.
This is who we're dealing with. As such, she's always been a staunch protector of those close to her, especially her nephews, Prince William and Harry. When Princess Diana died in 1997, Queen Elizabeth II attracted nationwide scorn for her absence from Buckingham Palace. The British people felt that she should return to London to grieve with them per Hello magazine. What did Queen Elizabeth do instead? She stayed at Balmoral with her two grandsons. In a 2017 interview with ITV News, Anne praised her mother's decision because it was the best for the boys, saying, "I don't think either of those two would have been able to cope if they had been anywhere else. They had that structure, they had people around them who could understand, give them the time, little time that they had, which was never going to be very much, to try and come, even in a fleeting sense, to terms with what had happened. Since the very beginning, she's had Harry's back and has been very protective of him." Since family is everything for Princess Anne, Prince Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle wasn't exactly a home run in her eyes. At least, this is what TV personality Deborah Davies told the Daily Star, revealing, "Princess Anne is fabulous. She just gives everything that she thinks away on her face. She doesn't need to say anything. You can see it in her eyes." Davies noted that Anne doesn't hide what she's thinking. Davies said that this was especially evident at Harry's wedding, where Anne, among other royals, was dubious about the match, adding, "Princess Anne is just like her dad was. Prince Philip could see straight through Meghan Markle." Anne's evident displeasure during social situations was oh so clear again at Philip's funeral in April 2021. Meghan, because of her pregnancy with daughter Lilibet, wasn't able to attend, something that royal biographers Carolyn Durand and Omid Scobie wrote about in Finding Freedom in an exclusive for E! News. Since Harry and Meghan had rocked the boat with their bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, the royal family was feeling touchy about the couple. According to Durand and Scobie, in truth, several members of the royal family are understood to have been quietly pleased that Meghan stayed in California because they didn't want a circus. In light of this, Anne evidently snubbed Harry at Philip's funeral, Express notes. Anne and Sophie Wessex, wife to her younger brother Prince Edward, were especially cold toward Harry at the sad event. True to the position of the royal family, Princess Anne avoids stating any political affiliation. It's the family code that royals, quote, remain strictly neutral with respect to political matters, as the royal family's website notes. It was particularly distressing to Anne that she got dragged into a political debate in 2019 when former President Donald Trump visited Buckingham Palace. As Vanity Fair reports, when Queen Elizabeth II motioned to Anne to join the lineup, the princess shrugged her shoulders. Many took this to mean that she was snubbing Trump when, in fact, she thought her mother was asking if there was anyone else in the lineup. An insider explained to Vanity Fair, saying, "The princess was unhappy to be dragged into that particular story because she has always been careful not to be seen to be political in any way. She is also incredibly respectful, so any suggestion that she would laugh at anyone behind their backs was quite upsetting for her." Meanwhile, Meghan Markle could not be more different. In September 2020, Vogue asked whether she would become the political princess and cited a reporter who said Prince Harry and Meghan Markle chimed in on the US election and essentially encouraged people to vote for Joe Biden. Before anyone else predicted, Princess Anne foresaw that Meghan Markle wouldn't last long as a member of the working royals. Royal commentator Neil Sean, using his YouTube channel, recapped a meeting between Anne and Meghan that likely offered more tough love than Meghan was expecting. Sean explained that Meghan requested the meeting with Anne, knowing that she has a long-standing tradition of being one of the most hardworking royals. Anne's wisdom to Meghan was all about understanding that royal life is service and work, not celebrity status and glamour. As Sean described it, Princess Anne reiterated this mantra. She pointed out that it wasn't a working monarchy, it was a job. You turn up on time, you do your research, and do the duty. The meeting, as expected, didn't go very well. As Sean explained, according to an inside source, Meghan Markle failed to warm to Princess Anne. Apparently, as Sean saw it, Princess Anne always knew Meghan had a, quote, very short shelf life in the roles of the monarchy. Since a major mantra of the royal family is don't explain, don't complain, we don't always know what's going on behind the scenes. Therefore, body language becomes even more interesting when it comes to the royals, compared to celebrities who can be candid about their thoughts. Body language expert Darren Stanton told the Wall Street Journal, "The Queen followed this very strict protocol that she was given by her father, not to show emotion, stiff upper lip. You've got to suck it up at all costs." While this might be the case, Princess Anne and Meghan Markle had an exchange in 2018 that was fascinating to body language experts like Judy James, who spoke with Express. The two women sat together at an event and had a mutually pleasant experience. James further explained, Meghan's passion for her causes and her eloquence, plus what looks like a shared sense of humor, did throw up some poses where the two women looked genuinely happy in each other's company. It's worth noting that this event preceded Meghan and Prince Harry's departure from the royal family, but it does show that Meghan and Anne had a positive rapport during the former's early days with the royals. James also noted that this was rare for Anne and that she didn't warm, for example, to the late Princess Diana. As should be obvious, Princess Anne is all about hard work and family loyalty, and when you're a member of the royal family, this translates to a busy life as a working royal. That's not to say that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle aren't hardworking or loyal to their families, it just means that it translated differently for them.
I'm thinking, how could you possibly take that long? I mean, it takes me 10 or 15 minutes.
This manifested when they announced on January 8, 2020, that they were stepping down as senior members of the royal family, per People magazine. Anne gave a dig at the couple a few months later when she spoke with Vanity Fair in May 2020. She admitted that she's not always a fan of change for the sake of change, and says that often, the tried and true way can be the most successful, adding, "I don't think this younger generation probably understands what I was doing in the past, and it's often true, isn't it? Nowadays, they're much more looking for, oh, let's do it a new way, and I'm already at the stage, please do not reinvent that particular wheel." That's about as big of a zinger as a royal family member can serve. But it's fair to say that Anne was not impressed by Harry and Meghan's decision to step away. Princess Anne was never enamored with the idea of the HRH title, which stands for His Royal Highness or Her Royal Highness. While Anne is formally known as the Princess Royal, being the eldest daughter to then monarch Queen Elizabeth II, she didn't want her children to have the same burden. As such, her daughter Zara Tindall and son Peter Phillips have no such encumbrances. According to Princess Anne in a conversation with Vanity Fair, "I think it was probably easier for them, and I think most people would argue that there are downsides to having titles, so I think that was probably the right thing to do." As Tindall describes it, the experience was a positive one, with her sharing with Express, "I'm very lucky that both my parents decided to not use the title, and we grew up and did all the things that gave us the opportunity to do." For Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they faced a different experience with their two children, Archie and Lilibet, since they won't get the coveted title. As an insider described to The Sun, Harry and Meghan have been left furious that Archie and Lilibet cannot take the title HRH. That is the agreement. They can be prince and princess, but not HRH because they are not working royals. Clearly, the couple has very different ideas than Anne does about what HRH can mean for a kid and their future.
We're told by the palace that the issue of titles is going to be something that is going to be sorted out after the official mourning period.
After Queen Elizabeth II died, Princess Anne made history in the ways in which she honored her late mother. When the Queen's coffin was placed in Scotland at St. Giles Cathedral, Anne made history by being the first woman ever to stand beside the coffin in the historic tradition called the Vigil of the Princes. The tradition has to do with guarding the coffin, and she was joined by her brothers, King Charles III and Princes Andrew and Edward. She also walked behind the coffin in the procession prior to the Vigil of the Princes, along the streets of Edinburgh. Anne also wore the Royal Navy ceremonial uniform. Even though she hasn't served in the military, she has honorary titles, as The Sun reports. The experience was vastly different for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry following the Queen's death. There was considerable emphasis placed on the question of Harry wearing a military uniform, and he did not during the Queen's funeral procession, CNN notes. The reason was that Harry had stepped down from his royal duties and therefore would not be in uniform, even after having served in the British Army for 10 years. However, King Charles III changed protocol and said that Harry was granted permission to wear his uniform at the Queen's Vigil on September 17, 2022.
Oprah with Meghan and Harry was teased endlessly, but when the lengthy interview was finally unleashed upon the world, it somehow managed to be even more shocking than any of us anticipated. The groundbreaking chat, which covered the royal defector's difficult time with the British monarchy, revealed more about the intensely private family than ever before. Unfortunately for the royals themselves, the biggest bombshells cast them in a negative light. As People reports, among other things, Meghan and Harry shared how unwilling the family was to help with the constant negative attention from the tabloids, while one unnamed senior member reportedly expressed concern over the shade of their son Archie's skin prior to his birth. Although the Duke and Duchess of Sussex feel a weight has been lifted off their shoulders after sharing their story with the world, there have been a number of repercussions to them speaking out so publicly. One of the most notable moments during the Oprah interview found the legendary TV host asking Meghan whether she was concerned about the fallout from the royal family, to which the Duchess memorably reasoned, "I don't know how they could expect that, after all of this time, we would still just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us. And if that comes with risk of losing things, there is a lot that has been lost already." Prince Harry was slightly more cautious because, as E! Entertainment's chief correspondent and head of news and British expat Melanie Bromley told Glamour, he understands the implications. Once you make racism allegations against the royal family, you can't put that back in the box. You can't come back from that. In fact, as Bromley explained, it may ruin Harry's relationship with his family forever. Royal commentator Roy Anika claimed the family is in firefighting mode over the claims. As People reports, the palace has been rocked by Meghan and Harry's claims, reportedly feeling deep sorrow and shock. However, as Elle noted, Oprah's BFF, Gayle King, revealed nobody had reached out to Meghan since the interview aired. Moreover, the relationship between Harry and his brother, Prince William, has been incredibly strained. The Sussexes informed Oprah the monarchy has an invisible contract with the British tabloids and is concerned about upsetting them. Indeed, according to one of those very same tabloids, the royal family is done with Meghan and Harry. Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers, speaking on his own podcast, Pod Save the Queen, opined, "Their relationship with the rest of the royal family is in the gutter, and whether there is any way back for them, I'm not sure." In fact, Myers reckons the royal defectors could likely do a follow-up interview and reveal even more. He said, "I don't think this is the last we've heard of it, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they pop up again, because that's their way of dealing with things now." The Sussexes might have lost their standing in Hollywood, too. According to royal commentator Barbara Ellen, Meghan and Harry won't fit in with elite members like the Obamas and Clooneys after their shocking interview. The Duchess was previously a highly sought-after actress thanks in large part to her starring role in Suits, and the couple's move to fashionable Montecito, California suggests they may be eyeing a spot on the A-list. As far as Ellen is concerned, though, they haven't a hope. As she noted, put it this way, has Michelle Obama ever sat on a TV sofa about her sister-in-law? The commentator explained that, although the royal family obviously tend to keep their cards close to their chest, it's worth noting that speaking out as the Sussexes have done is also the antithesis of how the mega-rich, uber-influential, notoriously private elite conduct themselves. Mega-famous celebs live very discreetly, and the Sussexes may struggle to fit in or find common ground with them as a result. Judging by social media, the public is split right down the middle on the Oprah interview. However, according to a poll conducted by YouGov US and The Economist, support for Meghan and Harry in the States dropped significantly after the interview aired. Average average scores for the Sussexes were down over 10 points compared to the weeks leading up to the interview. Likewise, a YouGov UK poll confirmed 36% of British respondents sympathized with the royal family, while just 22% sided with the Sussexes. As the LA Times notes, even Prime Minister Boris Johnson doubled down on his support for the monarchy when asked to comment on the interview. He gushed, "I've always had the highest admiration for the Queen and the unifying role that she plays in our country and across the Commonwealth." Meghan and Harry were smart enough to not attack the Queen directly, which, as royal historian Robert Lacey told The Guardian, saved them because they would have forfeited an enormous amount of sympathy by doing so. There may be hope for a reconciliation yet.
Why is Meghan and Harry's new home worth so much more money than when they bought it in 2020? And why is the couple thinking of moving already? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle packed their bags and headed to California after stepping down as senior members of the royal family in early 2020. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex eventually settled in Montecito, a quiet community in Santa Barbara. The pair are said to enjoy living in the upscale community, with a source telling Vogue, Harry loves California, but they were both drawn to the smaller town of Santa Barbara, where they can integrate into the community while having some distance and privacy that is hard to come by in the Los Angeles area. The Sussexes' home features 9 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a private playground, library, office, spa, cinema room, arcade room, wine cellar, and a large 5-car garage. The royals also have some very famous neighbors, including A-listers such as Oprah Winfrey, Ariana Grande, Gwyneth Paltrow, Rob Lowe, and Ellen DeGeneres.
Everybody leaves you alone. You can live a normal life there.
While the couple bought their mansion in 2020, they may already be seeing the fruits of their investment. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were said to have paid about $14.7 million for the Santa Barbara home, which features 7 acres of property, including a swimming pool and personal gym. However, since the Sussexes invested in their house, home prices in the Montecito community have skyrocketed by up to 43%. However, when speaking to Newsweek, Danielle Hale, the chief economist at Realtor.com, says that the growth may slow down in 2022. This means that if rumors that Harry and Meghan are looking to sell their mansion are true, they may want to start the process as soon as possible. In addition, if the Sussexes want to upgrade their home but stay in the same general area, they may be looking to pay a higher price for any new properties. Even though Meghan and Harry have ultimately decided that the stunning Montecito home isn't the right one for them, that doesn't mean they didn't accumulate happy memories in the few years they were there. In particular, they experienced Archie's first few years in that home, as well as the birth of their daughter, Lilibet. According to OK Magazine, Meghan and Harry's lives are incredibly different now that they're living in California rather than the United Kingdom. As a source told the publication, instead of a castle, they live in a mansion in Montecito overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and it has a cool playhouse in their garden, and Archie loves running around the lawn with the dogs. He's at the age where he can't keep still. And although Meghan and Harry are mega famous, in Montecito, they're pretty average compared to many of their neighbors, which means they fit in well amongst them. As a source told OK Magazine, Meghan and Harry include Archie and Lily in all of their socializing, so they have a few famous friends of their own. They've had playdates with Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom's 16-month-old Daisy, and David Foster and Catherine McPhee's baby boy Rennie as well. That being said, Meghan and Harry still want to make sure that their children grow up grounded, with the source explaining, they will make sure Archie and Lily get a diverse education and want them to be able to express what's on their mind. Although Harry and Meghan are reportedly not happy with the specific house they purchased or its location, they reportedly have plans to stay in the general Montecito area. As a source told the Daily Mail, they want to stay in the neighborhood or nearby. So while this specific property, which was named the Chateau of River Rock by its previous owner, isn't right for them, clearly they chose right when it came to the location. Part of the reasoning behind relocating to Montecito was because Prince Harry reportedly hated the stint they spent living in Los Angeles. After their exit from the royal family, the pair wanted to give LA a shot, but ultimately found it wasn't the right fit, according to an Us Weekly source. The timing was so wrong amid the coronavirus pandemic, and they lacked privacy. According to Us Weekly, Meghan has always had a soft spot for the area, with a source revealing, Meghan visited Montecito in her teens and fell in love with the picturesque scenery and stunning architecture. So it made sense for Harry and Meghan to set their sights on Montecito next, as it has the best of both worlds.
Now that King Charles III is reigning as the monarch of the United Kingdom, what happens to the controversial couple who famously stepped away from the royal family?
Queen Elizabeth II, whose 70-year reign is the longest in British history, has died at the age of 96. The BBC reports she was surrounded by her family at the time of her passing. Even the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, who was in London for an event, traveled to Balmoral Castle in Scotland to be with his family. Buckingham Palace released an official statement that read, "The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow." Queen Elizabeth's eldest son, Charles, immediately became king upon her passing. However, he will not be formally crowned in a coronation ceremony just yet. First, he will be leading the memorial services for his mother. The United Kingdom's royal family has a meticulously set order for who takes the throne and how it happens. This has been a tradition observed since the monarchy was established in 1066, according to Royal Central. But there's one wild card people are wondering about. What happens with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, since they're no longer working royals? Now that Charles is King Charles III, everyone after him in the line of succession shifts upward too. According to Cosmopolitan, Charles's elder son, Prince William, will take over his dad's former title as the Prince of Wales. He's now first in line for the throne. His 3 children, whom he shares with wife Kate Middleton, are next in line after him. According to Glamour, Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is now 5th in line for the crown after his brother William and his children. It's pretty unlikely Harry will ever become king himself, so, in practice, nothing will change for Meghan and Harry now that Charles is king. They will still remain the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, but King Charles may need their help along the way. Author Tina Brown told The Sun that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle could become assets for King Charles as he looks to appeal to a younger crowd, now that he is the country's monarch. This could be their chance to return to the royal family and improve their standing with the British public. Brown said, "My guess is Charles is really going to want them back. Sort of need them back, actually, because Harry and Meghan were huge assets to the whole royal repertoire, quite frankly. They had a young appeal that was very, very potent in the country." Harry and Meghan famously announced they were stepping back from their royal duties in 2020 and moving to California. It apparently led to some family strain.
I had 3 conversations with my grandmother and 2 conversations with my father before he stopped taking my calls.
However, if King Charles chooses not to accept Harry and Meghan back into the fold, their children could face an interesting consequence, the Daily Mail notes. According to some, Charles is considering slimming down the monarchy, only giving heirs to the throne and their immediate families full titles, financial support, and police expenses funded by taxpayers. This could mean Harry and Meghan's children, Archie and Lilibet, may not get titles from their grandfather.
Newsflash, it's not normal for royals to show any kind of PDA. Someone should have told Meghan and Harry that. Body language expert Jess Ponce III breaks down why the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are always holding hands. Funerals are always difficult to get through, but even more so when the event follows a period of estrangement from your family. This is especially true for Queen Elizabeth II's funeral proceedings, which have presumably been stressful for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, whose plans recently changed following Her Majesty's death on September 8, 2022. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are not only reuniting with the rest of the family for extended bouts of time in an emotionally charged atmosphere, but they have to do it with the entire world scrutinizing their every move. This added pressure may explain why Harry and Meghan are often seen engaging in public displays of affection that are generally uncommon for the royal family, such as holding hands. They were the only royal couple to hold hands during the procession on September 14, 2022, and were previously seen linking fingers during their walkabout outside Windsor Castle on September 10, 2022. Jess Ponce III, body language expert, media coach, and author of Awesome, tells the list, Harry and Meghan are there to undoubtedly support his family. Yet, during this process, all eyes are on Meghan, scrutinizing her every move. This is stressful to say the least. Ponce suggests that since they've been out of the royal spotlight for a while, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex may be relying on each other a bit more than the rest of the Windsor clan at the moment. Ponce went on to add, holding hands is a sign of connection, intimacy, and security. This is why parents often hold children's hands when taking them to school, for instance, and why couples tend to hold hands when they walk. As Ponce explains, married couples hold hands for intimacy, but more so for emotional intimacy and connection. It's a means of support. For Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, they could both seemingly use the additional support in the wake of Queen Elizabeth II's heartbreaking death. Ponce told the list, when faced with a challenging situation, such as a family death, holding hands provides all three: connection, intimacy, and security. This is the case with Harry and Meghan. There is also another factor at play, the stress of being under the microscope. Harry has talked about holding his wife's hand when she needed support before. In a video interview circulating on social media recently, Prince Harry describes squeezing each other's hands at a public event after Meghan had experienced a mental health crisis.
It's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
Given the levels of difficulty surrounding Harry and Meghan's current situation, Ponce went on to explain, it seems natural that they are relying on one another for support and connection, especially her. While Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are no strangers to public displays of affection, their behavior, though seemingly normal, is actually seen as relatively uncommon among the British royal family. Body language expert Darren Stanton told Hello, "You don't usually see this kind of intimacy from a royal couple, and it's clear to see the connection between the pair." Stanton went on to say that the only other royal couple in recent history who also display signs of affection for one another is Prince William, Prince of Wales, and Catherine Middleton, Princess of Wales. Although William and Kate are more subdued in their actions, there have been numerous occasions over the years where the duo has been spotted getting cozy. Though rarer than the Sussexes' interactions, the Prince and Princess of Wales are sometimes seen holding hands and touching each other's backs while completing their public engagements. In 2013, William and Kate were snapped holding hands following the Christmas services in Sandringham, and were even photographed as recently as July 2022, sharing a kiss following Prince William's polo match. The main difference between Prince William and Prince Harry showing public displays of affection for their wives seems to be that Harry's actions often end up in the headlines. If you or someone you know needs help with mental health, please contact the Crisis Text Line by texting HOME to 741-741. Call the National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI, that's 1-800-950-6264, or visit the National Institute of Mental Health website.
Everyone has an opinion about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, but only his oldest friends can tell you how much meeting Meghan changed him. Here's what Harry's longtime friend and polo teammate has to say about the controversial couple. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have faced intense criticism of their relationship ever since they first started dating. When the couple initially went public with their relationship, the British tabloids released a vicious tirade against Meghan, who, as a divorced, biracial American woman, was seen to some as an undesirable companion for a prince. In fact, the level of vitriol aimed at the Suits star got so intense that the Duke of Sussex was moved to have his spokesperson release an official statement in November 2016, saying, his girlfriend Meghan Markle has been subject to a wave of abuse and harassment. Some of this has been very public. The smear on the front page of a national newspaper, the racial undertones of comment pieces, and the outright sexism and racism of social media trolls and web article comments. In January 2020, the Sussexes announced that they would be stepping down from their roles as senior members of the royal family. They subsequently relocated to California and later admitted to Oprah Winfrey that the relentless abuse had been instrumental in their decision-making process. In recent years, the Duke and Duchess have continued to fight against misinformation. Meghan even emerged victorious after suing Associated Newspapers for a breach of privacy when they published a private letter she'd sent to her estranged father. In the face of constant criticism, the Sussexes need all the positive press they can get, which is why it's so heartening to see one of Harry's friends flying the flag for them. Prince Harry's longtime friend and fellow polo player, Nacho Figueres, has made it clear that he supports the Duke of Sussex's relationship with the former Hollywood star. Following the couple's move to California, the polo player remained close to the prince, and in August 2022, Harry and Figueres both competed in the Centibali Polo Cup in Colorado. He also joined the prince this season as part of the Los Padres team at the Santa Barbara Polo Club. Revealing that Harry always wanted to settle down with the right woman and become a father, Figueres told People, "My wife Delphi and I have known Harry for a very long time. I know firsthand how much he wanted to have a family. He found an amazing teammate or partner in Meghan. They love each other very much. Their children are lovely."
I was ready to find her It really made us very happy for him.
Figueres also relished the opportunity to spend some quality time with his buddy, telling people, "Being able to be with them for the last 2 months only made me happier, seeing them be a lovely family with their kids and their dogs. And that's really what he always wanted. I'm very happy for them." The competitive duo has gotten closer by playing together for Los Padres, with the Argentinian native noting that they've bonded both on and off the field. According to Hello magazine, the Sussexes have a number of close and notably famous friends in California, with whom they feel comfortable sharing their new life in the U.S. Figueres and the Duke seem to share a deep connection thanks to their strong family values. The positivity and support Figueres has for Harry is certainly welcome, as the prince mourns the loss of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. Not to mention, the repercussions from Tom Bower's explosive biography about the Sussexes are still being felt. In Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, Bower claimed that Prince Harry's childhood friends thought he was crazy to even date Meghan in the first place.
Don't believe everything you read, though.
Bower also suggested that Harry's friends considered Meghan to be humorless, alleging, according to some of Harry's friends, again and again she reprimanded them about the slightest inappropriate nuance. Nobody was exempt. The author further contended that Meghan originally headed to London with the intention of securing herself a high-profile man to further increase her own profile. Royal expert Robert Lacey also alleged in the Daily Mail, Sussex supporters have noted the bizarre combination of self-promotion and self-pity that characterizes Meghan. Regardless of the critics, Harry's closest friends appear to be on board with the prince's marriage.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle live pretty glamorous lives, from staying in million-dollar properties to flying on private jets to wearing the most expensive clothes money can buy. Join us as we take a look at Meghan and Harry's lavish lifestyle. Some of Prince Harry's relatives are among the wealthiest royals in the world. Even though Meghan and Harry decided to step down from their roles as senior royals and become financially independent, their lives are anything but normal. In fact, the couple is still massively wealthy. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Harry is worth an estimated $40 million, most of which comes from the trust he inherited from Princess Diana. Meanwhile, Meghan amassed a $5 million fortune from her days as an actress and influencer. So even though the Queen has cut them off, Meghan and Harry still have cash in the bank. Shortly before the birth of their first son Archie, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle moved from Kensington Palace to Frogmore Cottage in Windsor. But don't let the word cottage fool you, because the property is truly fit for royalty. Located on the grounds of Frogmore House, Frogmore Cottage was built in 1801 at the request of King George III's wife, Queen Charlotte. According to BBC's History Extra, King George III, often referred to as Mad King George, ruled Great Britain and Ireland from 1760 to 1820 and suffered from an illness that prompted episodes of eccentric behaviour. As such, Frogmore Cottage was the perfect escape for the king and his family. By the time Harry and Meghan moved into the royal estate, the home was something of a fixer-upper and underwent a renovation totaling millions before they moved in. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their engagement, royal fans were excited for the next royal wedding. People wondered how the American actress had convinced the once infamous party boy to settle down. Unsurprisingly, Meghan and Harry's wedding became the social event of 2018, and it was seriously swanky. As noted by Town & Country, Meghan's wedding outfit featured a custom Givenchy dress and shoes, as well as Queen Mary's diamond tiara. Following their ceremony at St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, Harry and Meghan took a carriage ride through the streets in what looked like an actual fairy tale moment. Then, Meghan changed into a slinky white Stella McCartney dress for the evening reception. Unsurprisingly, the couple's wedding reportedly cost around $40 million. In late 2019, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they would be spending their first Christmas as a family of 3 by themselves, instead of joining the Queen at her Sandringham estate as per royal tradition. Instead, the couple spared no expense and reportedly rented a $14 million mansion on Canada's Vancouver Island. According to the Daily Mail, the property boasts 8 bedrooms and access to 2 beaches. The main house features a 2-story living room, fireplace, wine tasting room, chef's kitchen complete with a pizza oven and a game room. According to the Daily Mail, Harry and Meghan originally planned to have Christmas dinner at a restaurant while visiting Canada, and their security team allegedly scouted out a local high-end venue. However, they ultimately decided not to go through with it and spent the holiday at a VIP resort, somehow upgrading their already lavish Canadian experience. The Daily Mail also reported that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex hired special caterers for the occasion and ordered a spread that included vegetarian options. And after their Christmas lunch, Harry and Meghan were spotted taking Archie for a walk. While Meghan and Harry's holiday was much more laid back than the royal celebration hosted by the Queen, it was still extremely luxe. Sometimes official duties take members of the royal family overseas. And even though they've since stepped down from their senior roles, Meghan and Harry continue to live a jet-setting lifestyle. Harry and Meghan's third date was a week-long camping trip in Botswana, which was quite an extravagant adventure for a couple who had only been on 2 dates.
Only 2 dates, and then going effectively on holiday together in the middle of nowhere, and sharing a tent together.
It's undeniable that jetting off to a foreign country on a third date is just not something normal people do. According to Town & Country, Prince Harry revealed, "We camped out with each other under the stars." Unfortunately, fans hoping for details about Meghan and Harry's honeymoon destination are going to be disappointed. Vogue reported that the location of the couple's honeymoon was kept tightly under wraps, and we still don't know where they actually went. But if the couple's third date is any indication, it was probably a very romantic trip. Being a member of the royal family comes with some serious perks. For Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, that includes being invited to special events of which we could only dream. In 2018, Meghan was invited to the British Fashion Awards, where she presented the Designer of the Year award in women's wear to the creative director of Givenchy. For the evening, Markle wore a custom one-shoulder Givenchy gown that was every bit as luxurious as the occasion. And outside of the fashion world, Meghan and Harry attend events others couldn't even pay for if they wanted. And in 2019, the couple attended the premiere of The Lion King in London, where they walked the yellow carpet and met Beyoncé and Jay-Z, which must have been nothing short of magical.
It means a hell of a lot to us.
When Prince Harry married Meghan Markle, Queen Elizabeth II officially gave the couple the titles the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. However, when Meghan and Harry announced their decision to step back as senior members of the royal family, there was discussion as to whether the Sussexes would keep their royal titles. After the royal family ironed out the details of the couple's exit, Harry and Meghan's website revealed, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will retain their HRH prefix, thereby formally remaining known as His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex and Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex will no longer actively use their HRH titles, as they will no longer be working members of the family as of spring 2020. The couple was also required to stop using their Sussex Royal brand, and they are no longer allowed to use the word royal in any future work they carry out. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were performing duties as senior members of the royal family, their work was pretty much non-stop. Between official engagements, charity events, royal tours and special events, it's hard to imagine how they balanced work with raising a newborn. Luckily, they reportedly had help, which is a luxury many families around the world don't have. In January 2020, People reported that Meghan and Harry left their son Archie in the care of Meghan's friend Jessica Mulroney when travelling to London. Meanwhile, Entertainment Tonight revealed that they also enlisted the help of a London agency to help them find a nanny. According to Express, members of the royal family typically use nannies who graduate from one particular college. Although the couple didn't go with royal tradition on this occasion, their selectiveness in hiring help for Archie proves they spared no expense. Before Meghan Markle met Prince Harry, she worked as an actress in Hollywood, where she got to meet many fellow celebrities. According to the Evening Standard, Meghan's inner circle includes big stars like Serena Williams, Abigail Spencer, and Priyanka Chopra. Naturally, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's wedding was a star-studded affair, and the guest list included Idris Elba, Oprah, Amal and George Clooney, James Corden, Tom Hardy, Elton John, and David and Victoria Beckham. Basically, Meghan and Harry have lots of famous friends who were more than happy to step out for a royal wedding. Meghan and Harry reportedly relocated to Los Angeles in March 2020, which will presumably allow them to see their celebrity friends more often. Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, also lives in the area, meaning that baby Archie will have a lot more quality time with his grandmother. Leaving England was a major decision, but living in California means that the Sussexes have famous friends and family members nearby, which has got to be a good thing. Meghan Markle was a so-called commoner when she married Prince Harry, but her groom had spent his entire life living with all of the luxuries associated with being a member of the British royal family. While adults in the family seem to live very comfortably indeed, the royal children also live insanely lavish lives. Harry's childhood was spent in palaces or vacation homes, flying on private jets, and attending expensive boarding schools, and it seems as though no expense was spared in his upbringing. Like his brother before him, Prince Harry attended Eton College. The exclusive boarding school counts several other notable attendees among its list of graduates, including Eddie Redmayne, Tom Hiddleston, and even Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Business Insider reported that the annual tuition for students at Eton is $52,000, and admission is based on a lengthy 3-year application process. However, as a member of the royal family, Harry probably got accepted right away. To understand just how lavish Meghan Markle's life is, it's worth looking at her wardrobe. Meghan's most notable outfits alone would bring the total cost of her apparel to nearly $1 million. According to Entertainment Tonight, Meghan's custom Givenchy wedding dress alone cost almost $500,000. Add another $150,000 for the Stella McCartney dress she wore to the evening reception, and it's not hard to see how the cost of her closet has added up to quite so much. The cost of Meghan's wardrobe is enough to make anyone's jaw drop, but the Duchess's smart style has helped earn her even more recognition. For instance, she won People's Best Dressed Star in 2018, and she collaborated with charity SmartWorks in 2019 to create a collection of workwear for women. In a statement launching the collection, Meghan said, "I am excited to celebrate the launch of another initiative of women supporting women and communities working together for the greater good. When you buy any item in the Smart Set capsule collection, the same item will be given to a SmartWorks client, and with it, the confidence and support she needs to enter the workforce and take an important step in building a career." Of Meghan's style, actress Abigail Spencer told Vanity Fair, "She's got warm elegance. Though her style is hard to pin down, it's classy and timeless.
It's still that California girl relax. I like to look polished and put together."
And it seems that looking so elegant comes at a cost. Arguably, flying in a private jet is the pinnacle of luxury. While Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's use of private jets has often come under intense scrutiny, flying in a private aircraft is just further evidence of the couple's enviable lifestyle. According to Town & Country, in August 2019, the royal couple flew in Elton John's private plane to the singer's home in France for a family vacation. Of the couple's trip, Elton John wrote on Twitter, "To support Prince Harry's commitment to the environment, we ensured their flight was carbon neutral by making the appropriate contribution to carbon footprint." According to Town & Country, the tradition of giving birth in the Lindo wing of St Mary's Hospital in London began with Princess Anne and was continued by both Princess Diana and Kate Middleton. However, in keeping with the status as royal rule breakers, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle opted not to welcome their baby with a photo opportunity on the steps of the Lindo wing straight after their child's birth. Instead, details of the couple's birth plans were kept under wraps, and Meghan's chosen hospital was widely speculated right up until baby Archie arrived. After multiple rumours, Meghan gave birth at London's Portland Hospital, which was later confirmed by baby Archie's birth certificate. The Daily Mail reported that the upscale hospital's childbirth packages can cost nearly $25,000. The hospital rooms reportedly include 4-poster cribs and luxury toiletries. And when it comes to hospital food, new parents are reportedly offered 24-hour room service as well as a lavish spread of offerings including champagne and lobster upon the arrival of their newborn. Considering the fact that Meghan and Harry have such a luxurious lifestyle as literal royalty, it's hardly surprising that they chose such a fancy hospital for the birth of their first child. If only every maternity ward offered a champagne service.
Harry and Meghan have 5 children? That's the number, according to Harry. The prince recently gushed about his family and provided a sweet update on their lives. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were in the UK when Queen Elizabeth II died at the age of 96. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex had been in London to attend the Well Child Awards, which supports seriously ill children and their families, and annually awards kids showing resilience in the face of adversity. Harry has been a patron of Well Child since 2007, and Meghan attended the ceremony with her husband in 2018 when she was in the early days of her pregnancy with son Archie, a fact that Harry revealed when the couple attended the awards again the following year. Harry said in his speech at the 2019 awards, "Last year, when my wife and I attended, we knew we were expecting our first child. I remember squeezing Meghan's hand so tight during the awards, both of us thinking what it would be like to be parents one day." Unfortunately, Harry and Meghan had to miss the 2022 ceremony due to the Queen's death, but Harry made time to meet with some of the Well Child Awards winners online via video, and he shared a sweet update about his and Meghan's 2 children when a boy named Henry asked the prince about his children with Meghan Markle. Harry shared in the video,
Archie is very, very busy, and Lily is learning to use her voice, which is great.
Harry also spoke about the family's 3 dogs, which seemed to keep him on his toes. I've got 3 in this house now, so we basically have 5 children. I've got a black Labrador called Pula, a rescue beagle called Guy, and we've got another rescue beagle called Mia. Between the 3 of them, they drudge around chasing the squirrels and causing all sorts of problems to us every single day. Harry went on to add,
They are also emotional support dogs.
Harry and Meghan are currently waiting for King Charles III to decide on whether Archie and Lilibet will receive prince and princess titles. Speaking on True Royalty TV's Royal Beat podcast, Katie Nichols said, "They remain Miss and Master currently on the royal website, and I'm told that that is a very clear signal from the king. He's willing to give those titles, but it comes with a caveat, and that caveat is trust. They have to know that they can trust the family." Prince Harry and Meghan Markle might be getting even busier if the rumors of them moving turn out to be true. TMZ reports that the couple is looking for homes in Hope Ranch, which is located in Santa Barbara County, California. The exclusive area only has 2,000 residents. Homes in the area range from $2.3 million to $33.95 million, with a median price of $4.8 million. Although Meghan just gushed about their current home, an 18,000 square foot mansion in Montecito, in her recent interview with The Cut, the property has had a series of scary security breaches, including 2 intruder incidents that occurred within weeks of each other, according to The Times. The Duke and Duchess reportedly hired a former secret security agent as their bodyguard, but with 2 young children at home, moving somewhere more secure could give them added peace of mind. There has been speculation that the couple has already purchased a home in Hope Ranch, which is about 10 miles from Montecito, but that is yet to be confirmed. But while relocating to Hope Ranch might make them feel safer, some residents are worried that Harry and Meghan could bring problems to their quiet area, especially when it comes to traffic, per TMZ.
If you're a fan of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's epic love story, then you're probably obsessed with Harry and Meghan, a royal romance. But even though the Lifetime movie is based on the real Duke and Duchess of Sussex, it's not exactly a biopic. Here's what the film got wrong. In Lifetime's Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, when Prince Harry arrives to meet Meghan Markle on their blind date, he's extremely late. Meghan ribs him for not being on time and jokingly shows him how to use his watch.
I'm gonna actually need you to hold off on the compliments until you have apologized for being 40 minutes late.
While it's technically possible that the real prince could have shown up late to the couple's first date, it's highly unlikely. Royal biographer Andrew Morton detailed in his book, Meghan, a Hollywood Princess, as they say in the movies, they had each other at hello. Meghan was immediately sensitive to Harry, aware that this was a man who, beneath the banter and the surface chatter, was looking for a safe harbor. They were mesmerized by one another. Harry enthralled by her beauty, sophistication, and perceptiveness. She understood him as a man, not a title. Basically, there's no indication that their real date got off to a rocky start. In the first 10 minutes of Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, Meghan is depicted as a hardworking actress, and Harry is portrayed as a party boy. It is true that Harry had a reputation for partying during his bachelor years. For instance, Biography.com revealed, in 2012, when he was photographed gallivanting naked in Las Vegas after a rollicking game of strip billiards with friends, needless to say, the royal family was highly unamused, and the prince apologized for his actions. But Harry's party boy days were long behind him by the time he met Meghan in 2016. Harry reportedly transformed himself after joining the military and serving 2 tours in Afghanistan. In 2014, he became a staff officer in London and began aligning himself with charities. By the time Harry was set up on a blind date with Meghan, he was no longer a party animal, but a charitable and responsible member of the royal family. When the movie's Prince Harry tells Prince William and Kate Middleton all about Meghan Markle in Harry and Meghan, a Royal Romance, Kate reminds her brother-in-law of the American socialite whose marriage to King Edward VII led to his abdication as king.
She's American, she's divorced, her mum is black. She makes Wallace Simpson look like Dame Judi Dench.
Kate explains all of the backlash she and William received because of the prince's decision to marry a so-called commoner. However, there's no evidence that this conversation or any other like it actually happened. We don't know what conversations took place behind closed doors, of course, but Kate has always been publicly supportive of the couple. When asked about Harry and Meghan's engagement back in November 2017, Kate told the Associated Press, "William and I are absolutely thrilled. It's such exciting news. It's a really happy time for any couple, and we wish them all the best and hope they enjoy this happy moment." According to Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, Meghan Markle attempted to break up with Prince Harry via FaceTime, only to have him show up on the Suits set where she was working. In the movie, Meghan views her Botswana trip with Harry as a fling because they live so far apart. According to Hello magazine, the real Harry did end up visiting Meghan on set before their relationship went public, but it wasn't because they were close to breaking up. Later in the movie, Meghan breaks up with Harry after he issues a statement about their relationship. In true Lifetime fashion, she runs to his plane to stop him from leaving, and they, of course, get back together. This dramatic made-for-TV moment appears to have no truth to it, though, and there's no record of Harry and Meghan ever breaking up in real life. You might think Prince Harry's time in Toronto and those Halloween party scenes were totally fabricated on Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, but apparently they weren't. Royal expert Omid Scobie told Good Morning America, "It was definitely a cloak and dagger visit. Harry had been planning this for some time and made sure it was done totally undercover, arriving at the airport with one security guard and going straight to her apartment. He got to meet her friends, spend time at her house, bond with her dogs. It was just like a couple hanging out at home." Despite the fact that Toronto's The Star revealed that the two attended a Halloween party together, there's sadly no proof that Meghan rocked a Hillary Clinton mask or that Harry was spotted in that embarrassing frog costume. After Lifetime's Harry and Meghan break up and get back together, a downtrodden Harry attends the wedding of Kate's sister, Pippa Middleton. In an exchange between Harry and Kate, the prince explains, "Meghan took a red-eye from Toronto so she could be my date to this wedding. Suddenly, she was benched." In the movie, Kate responds, "It's no ring, no bring. That's all." In reality, Meghan wasn't suddenly barred from attending the wedding. She just simply wasn't invited to Pippa's wedding ceremony from the get-go. However, Meghan was invited to attend the evening reception with Harry, and that's exactly what she did. We wish this part weren't real, but the blackamoor brooch does exist. BBC News reported that many view blackamoor figures, which were popular in the 1800s and 1900s, as racist. As Harry explained in Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, it is a symbol of European imperialist domination in Africa. Unlike what took place in the Lifetime movie, a blackamoor brooch wasn't worn to Pippa Middleton's wedding, and it wasn't worn by anyone called Lady Victoria because she's just a fictional character. However, in late 2017, Princess Markle of Kent was photographed wearing a blackamoor brooch ahead of a visit to Buckingham Palace. Although wearing the brooch would have been seen as inappropriate no matter when it was worn, the princess donned it to attend a Christmas banquet where she would be meeting Harry's then-fiancée, Meghan. As such, many thought it was worn as a personal affront. Princess Markle of Kent's spokesperson insisted, "The brooch was a gift and has been worn many times before." The spokesperson also told BBC News, "Princess Markle of Kent is very sorry and distressed that it has caused offense." In Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, Prince Charles invites Meghan to Pippa Middleton's wedding reception, a somewhat strange turn of events considering the fact that he isn't the bride. The future king dramatically tells his son, "And if anyone has a problem with that, they can talk to the first in line." In real life, Charles and Meghan didn't meet at Pippa's wedding reception. Us Weekly reported that Meghan actually met Charles much earlier than that, at Harry's 32nd birthday event in 2016. By Pippa's wedding in May 2017, Meghan and her future father-in-law would have been pretty familiar with each other already. When Kate orders a virgin drink at Pippa's wedding in Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, she admits to Meghan that she's pregnant with baby number 3. She confesses that her ladies-in-waiting don't even know yet, which makes Meghan among the first to be informed of the pregnancy. The scene worked well in the Lifetime movie, but it would have been physically impossible in real life. Pippa's wedding took place on May 20th, 2017. Kate's third child, Prince Louis, was born on April 23, 2018. Even if Kate became pregnant on the day of her sister's wedding, that would have made her over 11 months pregnant by the time Louis was born. Had she waited a month to break the news to her future sister-in-law, that would have made for a year-long pregnancy. Either Kate is superhuman or this scene didn't actually take place in real life. We're going with the latter.
I think it's really impressive.
Lions play a bigger role in Lifetime's Harry and Meghan: A Royal Romance than you probably would have expected. In the film, Harry's first experience with a lion is in Africa after the death of his mother, Princess Diana. Harry really did go to Africa at that time. The prince told Town & Country in 2017, "I first came in 1997, straight after my mum died. My dad told my brother and me to pack our bags. We were going to Africa to get away from it all." Among the many things Harry told the publication about his love for the continent, he revealed, "This is where I feel more like myself than anywhere else in the world." However, Harry never mentioned preventing his father from shooting a lion like he does in the film. This more than likely would have come up in his interview with Town & Country, as he helped replace 2 lions' tracking collars during his time with the interviewer. In the film, Harry believes lions embody his mother's spirit, but there's no evidence to support that Harry actually feels this way in real life.
You're not going to start quoting Lion King again, are you?
In a bit of a throwaway conversation in Lifetime's Harry and Meghan: A Royal Romance, Meghan tells Harry that their trip to Botswana has so far been better than the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland. Harry reveals to Meghan that he went to Disneyland when he was 8 years old and that it was his mother's idea to take him and William there. "I rode Splash Mountain like 14 times. While Harry did in fact ride Splash Mountain, the movie's conversation is adapted nearly word for word from an interview Harry gave to Good Morning America. "Going to Disney World is one of my very, very happy memories. I went on Space Mountain 14 times. I was like, this is absolutely fantastic. This is the best thing ever." It's relatively minor to change Disney World to Disneyland, but it does make you wonder why the change was made. When Meghan Markle meets Queen Elizabeth II in Harry and Meghan: A Royal Romance, she immediately bonds with the Queen's corgis, and the meet and greet goes off without a hitch. We have no reason to doubt that either. However, the following scene is what gives us pause. The Queen says she wants to show Meghan something down the hall. Revealing a painting, Queen Elizabeth tells Meghan and Harry, "I've always loved this portrait of our ancestor Queen Charlotte because the painter, Ramsay, didn't try to hide her African heritage." With confused expressions, Harry and Meghan look over at the Queen, who says, "Oh, yes, you're of mixed race, Harry. So am I. Many of her portraits tried to hide that fact, but this one is most authentic." It's a touching moment, but not all of it is true, or at the very least, it hasn't been confirmed. Queen Charlotte was the great-great-great-grandmother of Queen Elizabeth, and Sir Alan Ramsay did indeed paint the most realistic portraits of Queen Charlotte. But the late Queen's heritage isn't fully known. As Time reported on the matter, historians aren't really sure. Harry and Meghan: A Royal Romance features 2 proposals. Harry first proposes to Meghan while in Botswana. Meghan immediately says yes, but as the proposal was a spur-of-the-moment thing, Harry doesn't present her with a ring.
Just need you. Will you marry me?
Harry's second proposal is still informal but more official. This time around, the movie repeats events as they happened in real life. There's a chicken dinner, a beautiful ring, and a happy couple. During the couple's first official interview with BBC News, Harry revealed that he had proposed at his apartment in Kensington Palace while the couple was preparing dinner. As for her answer, Meghan explained,
"Yes, as a matter of fact, I could barely let you finish proposing. I was like, can I say yes now?"
While the second proposal is depicted accurately in the Lifetime movie, there's really no reason to believe that Harry proposed to Meghan twice. As far as the public knows, the London proposal is the only time Harry asked Meghan to marry him. Plus, it wouldn't have been such a surprise to Meghan if he'd already proposed, would it?